Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
K-pop news. BTS RM's trauma. SM
oh
fan injured.
oh
NewJeans Surprise. ITZY's comeback and the Boyz is back in the drama. ADOR drops surprise NewJeans video. Fans hope for union, but reality says otherwise. What? What?
they dropped the video.
Like ADOR dropped the video? I would think
I would think it would be on pause
right, if the girls themselves like NJC dropped a video, they're like, okay, they're about to pay. But ADOR dropped a video. Let's see what this is. This is interesting.
In the latest turn of events in the ongoing legal saga between NewJeans and ADOR, a surprise content update from the label has sparked a wave of discussion across fan communities and K-netizen platforms. On June 12, 2025, a new video titled A Full Day of PE Class is set to drop on NewJeans' official YouTube channel, as announced via the group's scheduling app, Phoning. The video is part of the group's well-loved behind-the-scenes series, typically lighthearted and entertaining for fans.
Maybe filmed long time ago, before the Kumbaya.
However, given the complex circumstances surrounding
now?
NewJeans' departure from ADOR and the ensuing legal battle, this release has taken on a deeper significance for many. Although
The timing is questionable, I agree. I don't know what's up with the timing.
because to me it can kind of be a little bit of a setup because that's going to encourage the bunnies, and now they're going to try to engage with NewJeans, and if NewJeans doesn't, they're going to get a fine.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think ADOR wants the fines. They want the NewJeans to come back.
content itself is not new, reportedly filmed before tensions escalated. The timing of its release has
okay.
caused speculation. Some interpret it as a strategic move by ADOR to subtly reinforce its claim that NewJeans remains under its management until legal decisions are finalized.
Okay, I can see that.
Others see it as simply an effort to maintain fan engagement and capitalize on existing content while monetizing.
That would be valid if it dropped long time ago. The
Because why wait?
Yeah, why wait?
If
Like,
they were sure that they had these claims.
yeah, dropping it now is it's questionable because they're doing it for a reason. This is not like a random drop. There's definitely meaning to it. What that meaning is, I don't know. I can't
think
answer
before
that
they
question.
weren't confident because maybe they thought that the girls maybe have a valid way out, but the path is not clear for them at all. And if anything, we're seeing the courts a bit Ador's favor.
I can see that. I can see that point of view. Yeah.
Through ad revenue. Fans' reactions have been divided. While some appreciate the nostalgic reminder of the group's earlier days with ADOR, others are confused or even frustrated by the ambiguity of NewJeans' current standing. Sample comments from Korean netizens. Huh, I wish you could go back. I miss your songs. NewJeans, please come back. I'm begging you. ADOR is doing a good job. They're making sure there's nothing people can nitpick, lol. Let the out-of-touch people say whatever they want, lol. Just complete your 7 years, and then do whatever you want.
Okay, maybe the attorneys for ADOR said, okay, you kind of have to still prove to courts to show that, okay, you're still promoting NewJeans, showing they're putting up a good face. So I think maybe this is just continuous promotions to show courts that, okay, the relationship is not broken, we're promoting them, blah blah blah. I think that's what this might be a court move. Not might be, this is a court move. It's just the reasoning for it. Why I think it's to show the courts that the relationship, the trust hasn't been broken, and they're still putting a good foot forward to promote them.
With legal
And the girls look happy. Look,
things
the
ongoing
video.
and no clear resolution in sight, the K-pop world is watching closely to see what direction this power struggle takes next, and whether either side will blink first. Let's call it for what it is. ADOR is dropping a pre-recorded video. That's it. No comeback, no reconciliation, no olive branch. Just unreleased content pulled off a dusty hard drive and flung onto YouTube to remind everyone who still legally owns the house. And NewJeans, please, let's not pretend they're secretly tiptoeing back into ADOR's arms. If anything, this feels like ADOR clearing its vault while it still can, cashing in on fan sentiment and nostalgia. Because guess what? They're allowed to. The court has ruled the group is still under ADOR, so using existing footage.
I could see an argument also that, okay, as she just said, they're cashing in because, okay, they might be scared that they might lose the girl, so they're cashing in on everything they have on them, before it's gonna be worth zero. Maybe? I don't know.
Is not just legal, it's smart business. As for the members themselves, going back now would be the PR equivalent of trying to unburn a bridge with gasoline. They already made a scene, threw their management under the bus, and walked out with their heads high, and their lawyers higher. Turning around now would be a field day for the K-pop peanut gallery, and you know it.
I mean, it's a field day for K-pop Peanut Gallery anyway. Like, people dragging them left and right, whatever they do. I don't think them going back would be any more scandalous than where we at now. Like, I honestly feel like people would forget.
would drag them endlessly. So no, they probably won't crawl
They're being dragged endlessly now. Like, you yourself, how many videos a day you talk about NewJeans?
back. And honestly, their pride won't let them. But let's not forget, feelings don't win lawsuits. The court doesn't care how betrayed or inspired you feel if your contract says you still owe 5 years. This isn't a drama. We're storming out with
Not quite. The judge did say that this seems like a different case where the claim is trust has been broken. So the judge is considering the feelings here, which is why this is kind of interesting case. Because if it wasn't if the judge was clear on the line that feelings don't matter, we would already, not maybe we wouldn't have an outcome yet necessarily, but he would have said that. Here he did say, oh, this is a different case because you claim that the trust is broken, and I can kind of understand it. Something along the lines he said that, which means that the judge is gonna look at it from a little different perspective. So feelings might matter in this case.
tears makes you the main character. It's business. And ADOR, for all its flaws, seems to be playing by the book. So let them post the clips. Let the fans enjoy whatever crumbs they can get. But don't mistake this for a reunion. It's just another chapter in a very messy, very public game of legal chicken. And someone's bound to crash.
Even police can do that. Netizens respond to
Oh, that the move was illegal?
On June 8th, 2025, rookie girl group Hearts 2 Hearts became the center of controversy at Incheon International Airport. A bodyguard, tasked with their protection, was caught on camera forcefully grabbing a woman by the neck and appearing to elbow her in the face inside the shuttle train zone, a public area used by all passengers post-immigration. The woman stated, "I also need to get on. I have a ticket." The guard shouted back, "Don't get on with us. Please step back. Why did you hit the member?" The woman denied making contact.
Oh, so she hit one, well, maybe not hit, but touched one of the members. That
Or like
completely,
maybe tap.
yeah, that completely changes. Like, to be fair, I already didn't have a problem with what he did, but if something was not recorded, or maybe it was recorded, but for the sake of the narrative cut, so we see just the reaction, not the actual action, because we saw the same thing with the podcast. It was just selectively picked. That completely changes that. And go ahead.
I feel like he saw his job on the line if she was able to touch a member.
Yeah.
That means you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
No verified evidence confirms that she physically assaulted any member. However, some video shows her accidentally bumping into a member while filming, which has led to mixed.
Is this it?
However, some video shows her accidentally bumping into.
Yeah.
She does look close.
Yeah. Nah. He did his job. This is how the job is supposed to be done. She's not supposed to be there. Now,
She's close.
she wanna claim she's not there. She's just going to the train, whatever. Why are you going to the train bumping people? Like, why can't you just walk behind them? I don't.
Maybe she didn't know who they were. Because you know how sometimes people try to rush to get onto the train and, they're like, hurry up, move, move.
Okay, I can slightly see that scenario. It is technically
Because they're right at the stop where the entry point, people try to rush
okay,
in
but
to
so
get a seat.
you're going to squeeze in? You can't wait until everybody gets
That's what
in?
people rough.
Into a member while filming, which has led to mixed interpretations online.
Oh, well, she was filming. She knew who they were. She was filming.
Oh, she was filming?
Yeah, she knew who they were.
SM Entertainment's official statement claimed the woman was a Sussang fan who had been following and trying to touch the members, acknowledged the security response was excessive, lodged a complaint with the security company, and promised to prevent further incidents. However, the JTBC program case chief emphasized SM's claim that she is a Sussang remains unverified. These are actual comments made by Korean netizens on major
He
news
did his
sites,
job.
and JTBC's
Yeah, he shouldn't even be punished for that. He did his job. That's how you do the job.
own channel. Here's what they said, and how it stacks up to the facts. Even the police can't do that. Who gave the bodyguards the authority to commit violence? Correct. Bodyguards are not law enforcement. They are not legally allowed to use physical violence against civilians, unless there is immediate danger to someone's life.
Okay, how do you know that she doesn't have a knife on her? You don't know at that moment. Somebody's right next to the member. You don't know what their intention is.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say that, oh, in his mind, he did not believe that the intention was to stab the member or something like that. Like, that, his job is to protect. And if the person was rubbing shoulders or like really close, like, it just looks fucking sus. Why are you in somebody's space?
True.
Grabbing a person by the neck and elbowing them in a public space likely crosses the line into assault under South Korean law. That's not excessive security. It's just assault. Legally sound assessment. The use of force
And all these people commenting, oh, it's assault or whatever, the same fucking people that following these idols probably, because they don't want to deal with that.
must be proportional. The woman reportedly suffered 4 weeks of pre-treatment injuries. That goes beyond crowd control. That enters criminal territory, regardless of fan status. Since when did our
4 weeks or what? What she suffer?
I mean, it did look scary to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I
She
wouldn't
got
want
pushed
that
and
move.
choked for 2
I
seconds.
wouldn't want that move done on me.
Okay, but I'm not saying you would want the move, but that is not 4 weeks worth of injury.
I don't know. It was pretty rough. And he's a man and she's a lady.
And she afterwards she could walk fine.
country have an
Adrenaline.
aristocratic class, a social commentary, but one rooted in a real concern. Why are idols and their teams allowed to treat public spaces like they're exclusive zones? Shuttle trains are shared infrastructure. There was no evidence the area was rented or secured for private use. Don't
Maybe
just
she was
blame
too
fans.
close.
Why was the shuttle train blocked? Just keep the schedule private. Logically sound. If agencies want to avoid fan interaction, they can hide flight schedules or arrange private logistics. Posting flight info
That is true. We have said that they need to either fly private or don't disclose that shit. That is also true.
publicly, then blaming people for showing up is contradictory. If they don't want public interaction, don't use public transportation. Fair point. Idols and their security
Both can be true at the same time. The labels need to keep that shit private or fly private, but at the same time, the regular people do not have the right to go and be touching idols either.
should not expect special treatment in shared spaces. Expecting normal passengers to move away or stop boarding is unreasonable unless official measures are taken beforehand. The bodyguard shouted, "Are you crazy?" and spoke informally. Shouldn't they be trained? Professionalism issue. Security personnel should be trained to de-escalate, not provoke. Verbal aggression in addition to physical force shows poor conflict management and reflects lack of proper training or oversight. She didn't sue because she didn't want to hurt the idol. Now she's being labeled a sasang. Concerning. Labeling someone a sasang without clear proof is damaging. It silences the victim's right to
Oh,
speak
wow.
up, especially
Oh, really? It's damaging, but labeling idols, whatever, is not damaging? It's okay?
if injuries are involved. Let's be clear. Sasaying is not a legal term. It's a label, and using it prematurely is irresponsible. She's only 20. She accidentally bumped into someone and now has 4 weeks of injuries. Important reminder, whether the bump
Okay,
was
we
intentional
gotta stop with the 4 fucking... There's no 4 weeks of injuries there.
Okay, you said that already.
No, but just look at
No.
this video.
Ah,
She has a bruise on her head.
okay, but you
intentional
you
or not.
adding to the
Nothing
extraness
justifies
too.
violence
Oh, this
severe enough
annoys
to cause
me.
medical harm, unless it's clearly self-defense in a life-threatening scenario. This was not that. Why say you can't ride with us? Did they rent it out? They did not. There is no report suggesting the train was privately reserved. The shuttle train is a mandatory transportation system for post-immigration travelers. All ticketed passengers have equal right to board. That's violence. Nobody grabs someone
True.
by the neck like that without consequences. Correct. If a civilian had done this to someone else in the same situation, they would likely face criminal charges. The same rules must apply to security guards and celebrity staff.
Fan speaks out after SM security assault.
A fan who was violently assaulted by a bodyguard, hired by SM Entertainment, has spoken out publicly about the incident and her injuries, sparking widespread concern
brain
and criticism.
Brain bleeding, that's... She would be in the hospital right now, not speaking out. Brain bleeding, like, that's a serious fucking thing.
The incident occurred at the airport, where the fan approached SM Idols. A bodyguard affiliated with Hearts to Hearts Security, contracted by SM Entertainment, was caught on video, aggressively pushing her. The footage quickly went viral, with many viewers calling the guard's actions excessive and dangerous. The fan has since released a statement online, revealing the extent of her injuries. Cervical, neck sprain, lumbar, lower back, sprain.
Yeah,
Sprain and
couple
contusion of the
bruises.
right upper arm. Sprain and contusion of the head. Cracked arm bone. Bleeding
I mean, if he broke her bone, okay, that's
Woo.
a little too much. The
Mm-mm.
bruises is the bruises, but if she got the
These
broke
bruises are
bone,
bad. These are some nasty
Yeah, if she-
bruises.
if the bone is truly broken,
Uh-oh.
yeah, that's a little too much then. Didn't look like no bones were broken. I don't know. Yeah, if if she can truly prove that the bones are broken, yeah, that's excessive.
in the brain. Doctors have prescribed a 4-week recovery period. Despite this, the fan stated she will not pursue legal action, citing her desire to
Because she's not pursuing legal action, I don't believe none of it.
avoid damaging the public image of the artists involved. She emphasized that this decision is not due to believing the assault was justified. but because she does not want the group to face backlash. I'm only 20 years old. Yes, I made some mistakes too. But honestly, don't you think there's something off about treating a 20-year-old girl like she's some kind of dangerous criminal? Legal and medical professionals have reportedly advised her to press charges, but she remains firm in her choice. She also expressed frustration at the
No, until she presses charges and we see it in court, I
The,
don't believe it.
I feel like, but here in the States, when they see like trauma on you, they call the police. You don't have a choice. You have to file the report.
Yeah, I don't know how it works in Korea, but until I see, because she can say anything she wants. The bruises are there. I would think bruises would be there.
Of course, a lawyer is gonna tell you, "Hey, you need to press charges."
Was she talking to a lawyer to begin with if she had no intentions to press charges?
Honestly, when there's accidents, there's lawyers who chase those.
Okay, how would lawyer have her contact information?
No, they show up to the hospitals. They're there.
To the hospitals?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess.
narrative being pushed by the security company and the lack of accountability, the public reaction has been largely supportive of the fan, with many commenters expressing outrage over the level of violence and the fan's decision to protect the group at her own expense. Some called for SM Entertainment to take responsibility and compensate the victim, while others highlighted the psychological and long-term physical.
No, if
Low
no,
key,
you
I
cannot
feel like the
compensate
fans
victim.
will pressure
SM cannot compensate the victim.
and give her a little something.
This
She
would
may
set-
get a little
This
ticket
would set a
to
horrible
come
precedent
to see
if
the
SM.
next Hearts to Hearts performance.
No, Rochelle, this would set a horrible
Ooh, I
precedent.
can see them low key doing it.
This would be a imagine
Maybe they're gonna send some flowers.
every single Sasang then would just go be close and to get assaulted. They would just go and offer themselves for an assault.
Then why the fans are on her side?
Because they're Sasangs themselves, probably.
low key, I wish. Let's do a poll.
They cannot.
I think people gonna side with her, especially like, oh, she's 20.
What does age matter? The age is not on her forehead. The guy didn't know how old she was, nor
Yeah,
does it matter.
but the fans
She
would
wasn't 16. 20 is a grown
this
woman.
Is based on the information what the fans know now, knowing that she's 20 and she's not
Why
gonna.
does that matter?
Oh no, I'm just saying, I'm making a case for her. She's saying I'm not gonna charge because I like the group, so that's already gonna get people sympathy points. She showed the pictures; those pictures are pretty bad.
That's what she's doing. All she's doing is getting sympathy points.
And then hearing about broken bones,
Again,
you
sympathy
know,
points.
already fans have issue with how security can do too much. Like even the movie,
Fans have issue how security don't do enough.
Even
not that
the
they do too
movie,
much.
like when there's a fan meet and they make them go fast and they start touching, it's already a problem. Now this one actually touched, connected, and left marks for 4 weeks, possibly. They may take her side. I think this is something to
Who
keep an
take
eye
her
on
side? What
The
are you talking
fans?
about? The fans are already on her side. We see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because
So
the
what-
fans
so
themselves
what
want to
does
do
this
what
mean
she
for
did and
Hearts
don't
to
want to get the
Hearts?
same treatment.
Because hearts don't need the bad press either. So they're either gonna have to move and swap out the security guard,
That's what they're doing.
or they're gonna send her a little like flowers. Like,
No, they're not going to
get
send her
well.
shit. This would be a horrible precedent because fans would set themselves up to get assaulted by the security. Of course, they would be at fault, but you clip the video in a
That
certain way
wouldn't
you
be a
want it.
first. That wouldn't be the first.
Okay, but it would
It's
set
not
horrible
gonna be the
precedent.
last.
No, it's not. They're not doing it. It's not. They're not paying her shit. If she sues and wins in court, if she manages to prove damages, different story. But she's not suing, and there's a reason why she's not
But
suing, and that
low-key,
reason is
really,
not. Oh, I feel bad for the group.
honestly, the way everyone's talking about it, she should take this to court because then
She
everything's
can
settled.
because there's nothing.
Yeah, but the point that everyone is talking about it is like talking just to talk. Let's settle this in court then.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If your bones were broken, go to court and you will
Yeah,
win.
because right now
That's
you
simple.
look pitiful when you're saying
Yes, I agree.
you have broken bones, you have bruises, and then what can you do? You feel pity for the person. I feel pity
Yes.
for her.
You truly have your arms broken, go to court. You will win.
Because when people do like crime, yeah, there's ways you can like subdue the criminal, but there's also excessive force. So the point is to where's the line, you know? And if they're saying that police in South Korea, that those moves are not legal, now for security, they're really, really not legal.
So take it to court.
So the
Why
thing
we
is,
talking about this? Take it to court.
the security didn't follow protocol. He went over and beyond. So I can see a case where the girl can feel that she was done wrong.
Then why is she not in court?
At this time, she may have a change of heart.
Physical impact the assault could have on a young
Hearts
person.
to hearts.
Despite differing views on whether she should sue, there is widespread agreement that the situation was mishandled and that the response from SM Entertainment and the security company
media
has been
is on her
inadequate.
side.
Many fans are now demanding accountability
Bon.
and systemic changes to how fan interactions are managed in high traffic areas like airports.
Yeah, because no one
Boys.
feel bad for the group, because this is like don't put your schedule out there. You kind of like, they're saying you're asking for it essentially.
Okay. The Boyz Sunwoo under fire.
Oh, when I talk about a lot of it,
What is there to
it's
say?
a problem.
We talked for 15 minutes about it.
because you were talking. I said, "Oh, you talking."
You said you were talking too. I heard your points. Okay, we clearly
because now
disagree.
I want to be talkie.
The Boyz Sunwoo under fire. Rumors, apology, and resurface attitude scandal. Again?
The Boyz is once again in the spotlight, but not for their music. In recent days, the group has been swept up in a wave of controversy involving multiple members. It began with dating rumors surrounding Jooyeon, but quickly spiraled into wider allegations. Claims surfaced online, suggesting that members Hoyeonjae, Eric, Sangyeon, and Sunwoo have engaged in inappropriate behavior, including underage drinking and smoking. Sunwoo, in particular, is now under growing scrutiny. On June 11th, he addressed the situation via the fan communication app From. Rather than taking a serious tone initially, he told fans to ignore the rumors and shared a game code, a move many fans found tone deaf amid the storm of criticism. Realizing the backlash, Sunwoo later followed up with a more formal apology. The B's, I spoke too lightly and played games without being aware of the situation. I'm sorry, truly sorry. However, this apology hasn't helped ease tensions. Instead, it's led to a renewed focus on his past behavior, particularly a scandal from earlier this year. In that incident, Sunwoo was caught on video, allegedly shouting at a security guard to pick up his AirPods. The clip went viral, and after school's Nana publicly criticized him, calling out what she saw as disrespectful behavior. Though Nana was met with backlash at the time, she stood by her comments, later responding. A glimpse tells the whole story. Now, with Sunwoo once again embroiled in controversy, many are pointing to this earlier incident as a warning that went unheeded. Some netizens have come to Nana's defense, saying she had tried to offer constructive criticism, only to be attacked for it. Looking back, Nana Nim actually took the hit and gave advice to Sunwoo, all for the sake of the B's. One comment read, "So far, the group's agency has only issued a denial regarding Jooyeon's dating rumors. There has been no official response addressing the other allegations, including those tied to Sunwoo and the rest of the implicated members. As public figures, idols are expected to maintain a level of professionalism, both on and off stage, and while fan loyalty remains strong, some are beginning to question whether accountability is being overlooked in favor of damage control. We'll be watching to see if the Boyz and their management offer a clearer, more comprehensive statement, and whether genuine reflection will follow the apology."
So I'm confused. The issue is that the guy drank and smoked? That's what this is all about? And now we're relating his attitudes to drinking and smoking?
Yeah, it's becoming a pattern.
How is it a pattern? It's two separate things.
Yeah, but it's becoming a pattern.
His attitude is one thing, which I do believe he has an
attitude.
But smoking and drinking, that has nothing to do with attitude. That's personal choices.
But the people don't want to see that. So
That's your problem that you don't want to see it. Close your eyes. How old is he? Let's see.
it got out there. He posted it or what? He posted it.
I don't know how it got out there. What's his name? Sunwoo? For the Boyz?
These are bad boys.
Motherfucker is 25-year-old. What underage drinking and smoking are we talking about?
I don't know what's the age you're supposed to drink in. Maybe it's 28. I don't know.
I'm about to look at the Korea drinking age.
Because honestly,
19.
Drinking makes you age. So probably they don't want him to drink because they're gonna get old and ugly. Well, not ugly. You know how.
So you're saying the fans can control him, what he can do in his free fucking time now?
They do, but they already do.
This is ridiculous.
They already do.
The guy's 25. You want to smoke and drink? He can smoke and drink. Who gives a fuck? Stop it. Jungkook can smoke is okay, but this guy, because he's not as big, he can't?
Jungkook don't do it in our faces like that.
Yeah, we've seen videos of Jungkook smoking. He got caught smoking.
This low-key, and he does it. Bloop.
And how do we know that he didn't go on Instagram live smoking?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know what's the
saying.
context, but no,
I'm
this
just
is
saying.
ridiculous. The guy has an attitude problem. Yes, we talked about it. I agree. That's an issue.
Also, just because you see someone do something doesn't mean it's gonna be okay for you to do it too.
What?
Just because
I heard what you said. What does
just
that have to
because
do with anything?
because you're telling me, oh, but Jungkook smokes. It's not about Jungkook. It's about this guy and how people feel for him. There's double standards.
Why? That's my
Because
point. They
that's
both idols.
life.
There shouldn't be double
That's life.
standards.
That's life. There's double standards.
I thought I was going to die. BTS's RM opens up about military trauma, hype turmoil, and the cost of silence.
What?
Ooh, goddamn.
Cost of silence.
What the fuck?
The world may have seen BTS's
Whoa.
RM, real name Kim Namjoon, as a steadfast leader, eloquent lyricist, and resilient soul through countless storms. But when he spoke out on June 10th, after completing his military service, he stripped away that image, revealing the raw, exhausted human underneath.
Wait,
What
that was
unfolded
June
during
10th?
RM's
Yesterday, yeah.
But wait, the video she showed, that's not current. His hair didn't grow back like that.
Oh, I think it's yesterday. Oh.
This is him yesterday?
Well, he was wearing a hat. We don't know what his hair looked like.
I thought they all cut their hair.
They cut entering. Doesn't mean they had to cut. Have to keep it short throughout. I think you just have to cut it for entering.
How you know?
That's what they see in the movie. They do in the movies.
I think you have to do upkeep though.
Yeah, but I think upkeep, as long as it looks masculine, it cannot be like feminine long hair. But I think as long his hair doesn't look feminine, like there's a certain length up to
Put
which.
a little gel on it.
candid solo live broadcast wasn't just a typical post-service update. It became a soul-bearing confession of insomnia, stress-induced exhaustion, and emotional turmoil. And the consequences of his words rippled far beyond the fandom, sparking a renewed public discourse on South Korea's mandatory
Don't
military
recognize him
service,
here.
the pressures
Yeah,
of
that was a
fame,
little different.
and the internal rot that some fans believe may be festering inside HYBE, the agency behind BTS. A storm within the uniform. RM's heart-wrenching confession. RM was officially discharged from military service on June 10, 2025, alongside fellow BTS member V. What should have been a triumphant, celebratory return quickly turned into something more sobering. In a quiet, vulnerable moment during a solo live broadcast with fans, RM dropped a bombshell. There was a time when I did not get a single minute of sleep for 2 days, for about 78 hours. That was toward the end of April. I remember thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to this rate. RM, he painted a bleak picture, struggling with insomnia, while sharing a room with 20 other soldiers. Being overwhelmed by the relentless noise of snoring, teeth grinding, and the lack of personal space, the already suffocating environment was further intensified by chaos brewing outside the base, presumably referring to the mounting scandals surrounding HYBE, including rumors of cult influence, plagiarism.
I wonder. This is an interesting point because I wonder how it affected them in the military. Because the other not trainees, what do you call it? Soldiers. The other people that are serving, they hear it too, and they might have opinion, and they might have something to say about it. Because they're not your friends. You live there, you sleep, but they're not your
What do you mean
friends.
opinion about what? Like,
They could be like, oh, look, your boss is getting his ass full by this mini girl.
you think, like, I don't know. I
Why?
think it's such a bubble. You gotta really. Sometimes people think the bubble is bigger than what it is. The bubble is really small.
But that's a bubble for us, but in Korea, that's reality.
So you
It's
think,
like a Diddy thing,
So you think the people who are serving, like on their mind, they care about you? I don't think it's that deep.
it's not about that. They just might want to make fun of you, because there's bullies at any point in life. The bully is.
You're gonna bully BTS?
Why not? If you're a bully, you bully whoever you want to bully.
No, but they're not like. They look solid. Those guys. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but as BTS members are not gonna fight you because they can.
I know. I'm not saying for fight, but I don't see that. I feel like a lot of people love them, and also
Okay, well, a lot of.
and also we heard a lot of like friendships too also form.
Yes,
common
there's some friends,
interest.
but that's one. There's 20 guys in the room. Not all 20 gonna be your friends. There's gonna be a guy.
There's
that
gonna
don't
be
like you
probably like
and gonna talk
you
shit to you.
because of envy or jealousy.
Right, envy. They're gonna be envious and they're
but-
gonna talk shit to you. You clearly don't know how guys operate. I don't know what you're talking about. That's
If
exactly
you're-
what would happen. They would talk shit to
First
him.
of all, volume down.
Bruh.
Second, also, when you're in the army and you have it's a brotherhood. I'm not saying they don't get into like discussions, but to say that there's bullying
Yes, bullying in the military is a thing. I don't
for
know why you say shit.
them, no.
Well, I'm not saying they were bullied. I'm saying it's possible. Because why else would he be stressed out about the situation? Because whatever.
I think stress can be brought on to you by the thought of what you think others may be thinking, but they may not actually be thinking that. I think it's like, the perception that, oh, everyone's looking at me, I'm nervous, but everyone is truly minding their own business, worried about people looking at them. So I can see that his perspective in saying that, oh, like you feel stress. Of course, naturally, you're in an environment that, you didn't really want to be in, but you have to get through it, and you're the leader, and your guys are apart from you, so now you're not with your guys. So I can understand that as a stress, but I truly don't feel like the guys in the army is thinking about Mini Jin like, oh my god, that's your boss, like
They're not they're not thinking about her. They're just looking for a reason to pick on him because they're jealous of him. So they will take this and use this to pick on him.
what RM gotta say? Let me hear what
Tourism
he say.
allegations and company turmoil. I kept asking myself, why are you so weak? You've been through more challenging times. So why do you keep losing to things like sleep or the military? RM, his words weren't just confessions. They were cries from someone caught between identity, duty, and crumbling internal strength. Behind the scenes, the hype turmoil that haunted the barracks between April and May 2024, the precise period RM cited as the start of his insomnia. Hybe was embroiled in controversy. Then creative director Min Hee-jin, MHJ, faced accusations of cult affiliations, plagiarism scandals, and explosive fallout with the company's
I feel
board.
like, honestly,
RM
I feel like, you're away from the company, you're in the military, and you're hearing everything falling like into pieces. You're like, what the hell is going on? I just left for like army, and y'all like burning down the building. What we're gonna come back to?
BTS's leader and chief lyricist likely felt those tremors, even behind military fences. Fans connected the dots. NewJeans' insomnia developed in April when there was so much going on in Hybe that shamanic witch MHJ has done irreversible damage. One army tweeted, referencing the cult rumor scandal. He had so much
This is
difficulty
not good for
sleeping.
me,
With
Heejin.
all the stress, he lives like a zombie and still hasn't been able to get off the meds. Another fan heartbreakingly noted, while
They're
RM
gonna
didn't
burn her
name
down.
names or go into specifics about Hybe, the weight of external pressures clearly bled into his military experience. Forced conscription, the fan outcry. South Korea's mandatory military service has long been a contentious issue, especially for global superstars like BTS. While the group has been largely respectful and compliant with the system, RM's candid account is reigniting anger. What Namjoon is sharing is personal. For conscription and the South Korea government, not only for Namjoon, but for everyone who struggled because of it, only to gain nothing but trauma and lost time. One fan's tweet went viral, encapsulating widespread sentiment. Hearing
They have to do the military because of the situation with North Korea, so that's like they're not gonna end it. I don't see it happening.
I wouldn't have done like a mukbang in uniform though,
Why?
because it's like that's like, I would have changed my outfit.
how much the military affected Namjoon's mental
Well, I will say though, like while you cannot get rid of conscription because against North Korea, I do feel they should make exceptions, and BTS should have gotten an exception. I don't think everybody should serve. There's a lot of men that don't have
know.
anything in life to do, but they can go serve.
I don't know.
If you can prove that you can bring more to the country, to the society by being outside and being inside, I think they should grant you an exemption, and I do believe BTS should have, and not just BTS, I believe all K-pop idols should have that exemption. K-pop idols, athletes, business people, the people that create jobs, I believe those people shouldn't have to do the mandatory service. Leave that for people that don't really have jobs or like low-paying jobs.
That can get really dicey and divisive too as well.
But that's how every other country does it almost. Lithuania does it like that.
Yeah, but in their space, I guess for them it's like creating like, okay, we're one. This is like a community thing. This is not just for me, not just for you. This is for us.
health, and probably the other boys too, makes me so angry and sad, but also so relieved they're finally free. Another army wrote, the anger isn't just for RM. It's a collective rage for every conscripted man in South Korea who has silently endured the mental toll of service. Now personified in a beloved public figure, but this recent confession has etched a deeper dimension into his narrative. He acknowledged his own sensitivity, his harsh self-talk, and the dissonance between who he was and who he had to be. Not that I've ever had it easy, because I was born a bit sensitive. I've accepted the fact that I'm sensitive, but I'm going to come around. RM, to fans, for many, RM's honesty was more than a confession. It was a mirror to their own struggles with insomnia, burnout, and the invisible battles
I
that
can
plague those
imagine
expected.
those who are not like at the same level with RM, what they go through in this.
I think some people thrive in that environment.
To be
Of
strong
course, there's
all the
always
time.
gonna be
What
a
now
little
for RM and
outlier.
BTS? Though RM assured fans he would come around, concerns linger. His admission of seeking treatment from a neuropsychiatrist and still being on medication hints that the road to healing is far from over. But the support from ARMY is unwavering. The countdown to the group's highly anticipated reunion begins. But with that also comes a hope that their return isn't just about music, but about healing, and perhaps even change. RM's story is more than celebrity vulnerability. It's a lens into systemic mental health neglect, the crushing demands of military duty, and the psychological cost of being a public figure during corporate chaos. This isn't just BTS news.
Yeah.
It's a national conversation, one that forces South Korea to look inward and ask, what are we asking our young men to sacrifice? And is it worth it?
Overall, in general, I think this will help, like, you know, should we be even fighting in a war? Is it worth it for the mental sanity of everyone?
ITZY is officially back, and they're making global headlines. Their brand new mini album, Girls Will Be Girls, just dropped, and it's already dominating the charts. Right after its release, the album debuted at #1 on the worldwide iTunes album chart, making it the first 4th-gen K-pop girl group album in 2025 to reach that milestone. It also landed at #6.
Okay, no offense to nobody, that sounds great. But the reality is, no 4th-gen K-pop girl groups really dropped this year. Le Sserafim did, but I think that's it. So that basically, it's a fancy way of saying they outsold Le Sserafim. Because, oh, G-Idol too, but G-Idol, that just sucked. So if it was the first ever 4th-gen, sure. But this year, like, major groups are about to drop. They haven't dropped yet. So them being the first, like, it just not really meaningful.
On the European iTunes album chart and hit #1 on iTunes top albums in
Well,
7 different
damn.
regions.
No, because it's just like, oh my,
damn.
it sounds like, oh my god, they've achieved something huge. But when you think about it, all the 4th-gen girl groups, they're about to drop. aespa coming back, you know, like literally, who 4th-gen girl groups that dropped this year so far is G-Idol with that trash, whatever they dropped, and Le Sserafim was good, but ITZY did better, which is great. But it's not like their competition is like 3 drops. It's not like there was 20 drops and they're the best or the first, you know.
Including Brazil, Hong Kong, Mexico, New Zealand, Russia, Singapore, and Taiwan, Girls Will Be Girls includes 5 new tracks. The title track,
Every time I
Girls Will
hear
Be
Russia,
Girls,
I feel
and
like
4 solid B-sides,
they're saying my
Kiss and
name.
Tell, Locked and Loaded, Promise, and Walk. Now, let's talk about the music and the comeback itself. In my opinion, this time it actually feels like JYP put in some real effort, especially when it comes to the music video production and overall
the music
style.
video was
The
really
title
good.
track
I
isn't
just say
necessarily
it's
their
gonna
best,
be
but
music
it's much
video
more
of the year
enjoyable
so
compared to
far.
previous releases, like Gold. That one felt too experimental, and not in the best way. Girls Will Be Girls, while still experimental, actually calls back to ITZY's debut era energy, with bold confidence and catchy attitude. It feels more grounded in their identity. One small downside I'd point out is the ya 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 part in the chorus. It feels a little out of place and repetitive. I personally wish they had replaced it with something more interesting or melodically stronger, because that moment kind of breaks the flow for me. But outside of that, I'm honestly in love with this comeback, and the B-sides are absolutely solid. Tracks like Kiss and Tell and Promise show off ITZY's range in a way that's cohesive and emotionally engaging. Even Locked and Loaded delivers strong replay value. It's such a contrast to their Gold comeback, which to be fair, had great production quality and amazing tracks like Imaginary Friends. But for me, the title track Gold just didn't land and kind of derailed the whole
You
era.
know, the red icon for me pops more for JYP than the blue.
I kind of associate JYP with blue though. And red is not JYP's, ITZY's page.
Oh.
different pages.
Girls Will Be Girls. ITZY feels re-energized
So they
and
put
more in
some
tune with
JYP and then
Yeah, so the way they do it, I believe, here
Interesting.
on ITZY's page, they post like more like behind the scenes stuff or performance video, but the official MVs go on JYP page.
Okay.
their
cool,
original
lit.
concept. While still evolving sonically, this comeback is a win, and it feels like the group is back on the right track. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, and this comeback is good. Definitely better
Yeah,
than the last one. They
it
did a good
served.
job.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. As always, share as much kindness as possible.